My husband, who cheated on me, wants a divorce and says he doesn't want to live his life on high alert mode anymore. I feel abandoned and devastated. I'm going to share my story as it is without trying to polish it up. 4 years ago, my husband had an affair with a coworker after a work holiday party. Before that, he had what he called an emotional affair. He swears he didn't see it that way at the time. They were venting to each other, staying late, and instead of talking to me about feeling disconnected, he found comfort elsewhere. They got drunk, and it crossed a line. He came home the next morning and told me everything. I remember that moment vividly. He did everything he could to make it right afterward. Cutting contact, informing HR, going to therapy alone, and attending couples therapy with me. I decided to stay. The first 2 years were incredibly difficult. I often found myself asking questions that would just spill out of me. I'd be driving and suddenly ask, "Did you think about me at all that night?" Or I'd pick fights over little things like a delayed text response. I felt anxious whenever he mentioned a female coworker. The affair happened during the holidays, so that entire season is still hard for me. I can't fully relax from November through January. It's like my body keeps score. There were a couple of Christmases I ruined because I ended up crying in the bathroom, unable to escape the memories of that party. We've had good stretches too, where I thought we were okay, but then I'd get triggered again by something random. Lately he's been different. He just seems so tired. I've worked hard on managing my triggers, and while they're less frequent, they never really go away. Sometimes when I start spiraling, he'll say, "I know you're triggered, but I can't talk about it right now. We can discuss it later." He doesn't want every calm or happy moment to be overshadowed by the affair. He's trying to create new memories with me, but it feels like I can't focus on the present enough for it to matter. A few weeks ago, everything blew up. I was in a mood where everything he did irritated me. He finally broke down, crying, and suggested we separate. He said he can't live the rest of his life in high alert mode. Even though this was his fault, he didn't realize how heavy it would feel to carry it forever. He thought he could manage it, but now he feels he can't. He doesn't want the rest of his life defined by the worst mistake he's ever made. He knows he would never do it again, but he doesn't want to feel guilty for the rest of his life. He shared something I didn't know about how the affair impacted him. A few months ago, he had a health scare at work, where they thought he might be having a stroke. He was alone and couldn't check his phone for a while. When he finally got it back, he saw a flood of anxious messages from me. I didn't know what was happening with him. I was just having a bad trigger day and blowing up his phone because he wasn't responding. He said that moment changed everything for him. After thinking he might die, seeing my fear and suspicion felt unbearable. He realized this is not how I want to live. He also mentioned how last year, on the same day he got a big promotion, I was upset about something unrelated but still tied to the affair. He felt he couldn't even celebrate because he didn't want to seem insensitive. He said life feels short now, and that health scare changed his perspective. He wants to forgive himself and move forward. But he doesn't think he can do that while being married to me. He insists it's not my fault, but being with me feels like he's constantly pulled back to the lowest point in his life. He started to associate negative emotions with me, and he believes that's not fair to either of us. Hearing all of this felt like the floor dropped out from under me. I feel abandoned. I also feel ashamed because I know I haven't made it easy. But how can I never have triggers again? I don't know how. I know I can be sharp and suspicious, but I didn't choose for this affair to become a permanent part of my life. I hate feeling unsafe so often, and that holidays are tainted by these memories. I'm begging him to reconsider, but he isn't listening. I keep chasing him, but that only makes me more furious. All I know is I feel abandoned all over again, twice now, once from the cheating and now from him giving up.